All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about Paulie Malignaggi trying to set Terence Crawford straight for clout chasing ERROL Spence Jr. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division with talking about something that is very funny from my standpoint, because I actually get to agree with something that Paulie Malignaggi said, and at the same time, share with a lot of people what a lot of people are noticing about this Terence Crawford fight with David Avenation that he took instead of the ERROL Spence Jr. fight. But before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, thank you so much for your support on the channel. Please hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you can know when we release videos, which we do pretty much on a daily basis. Also, I want to say thank you so much to Tammy, a big supporter in the super chat, constantly in there. Thank you for both your words and when you donate in the super chat and the Cash App. It really does mean a lot. And also to everybody that supports in the super thanks, which you can see in the lower right-hand corner of this video with the little heart and a dollar sign. That is how people contribute to allow content creators like myself to continue to do these videos. So thank you guys very, very much for your support. We don't get a lot of sponsorships over here because we, for the most part, try our best to talk straight facts about boxing, and it is what it is. Now, let's get into this subject matter. Paulie Malignaggi, who used to be with Showtime Sports and is now, and actually is a former world champion. I do believe he was a welterweight world champion, but, you know, a longtime fighter, Paulie the Magic Man Malignaggi. After he ended his fighting career, he wound up doing commentary for Showtime Sports. That went away because of some controversial, at least my understanding is that went away from some pretty controversial comments that Paulie Malignaggi has made in the past, and ones which I wish, Paulie had just kind of minded his business about. But whatever. He's still right now somebody that a lot of people rely upon and pay attention to him when he talks boxing, which is the right thing to do. I mean, he's very knowledgeable about the sport of boxing. I don't always have to agree with him, but I do listen to what he has to say. He shot out something to Terence Crawford and said, "Hey, Terence, how about you stop talking about," and I'm paraphrasing this, "how about you stop talking about ERROL Spence Jr. in all your interviews and talk about the bout that you actually have coming up with David Avenation," right? He said it a little bit more succinctly than that on Twitter, but that was pretty much the gist of it. And it is the same thing that a lot of other people are saying and wondering, why isn't Terence Crawford talking about his fight? If he is past the ERROL Spence Jr. fight and he is going to be fighting David Avenation, and like he said in this in the interview that he gave on, not even an interview, his statement that he made on Instagram, where he said, "Hey, BLK Prime is taking over boxing." When are you going to start taking it over and start talking about the actual fight that's going to get made? As of right now, we have not seen any. We've seen a couple small promotional deals, promotional company. I wouldn't even call them commercials because I think they're like available on Instagram, or they've been tweeted out by people. It's not like it's been somewhere where you've seen programming running on regular television programs where you would say, buy this fight, right? I've yet to go to a YouTube video and see a commercial on a YouTube before a YouTube video advertising the Terence Crawford Avenation fight. It almost seems to be like next to no promotion. And I do believe it's going to be on December 10th. So we are 16 days away from that. So with 16 days left until that fight is supposed to take place, we've not seen any press conference with the two of them together. I think we might have seen one thing where David Avenation gave an interview out there, but other than that, it's been pretty much nothing. However, there has been a constant stream of interviews with Terence Crawford talking about the ERROL Spence Jr. fight and talking about what what happened in the Terence Crawford, in the Errol Spence Jr., negotiation, where the latest things that he has said has been things like, I don't know why anybody's blaming me. I agreed to everything that I should have agreed to, something like that. I did the best and I tried my best to make the bout. Well, the answer to that is because you didn't take the fight and you walked away, and now we are going to go off and fight David Avenation. Nobody wants to see you fight David Avenation, so people are going to not necessarily be happy about it and say, hey, man, Terence Crawford decided not to fight David Avenation. And you're just stuck with what is. I can tell you, going to testify to this firsthand. I've had a lot of conversations with boxing fans about the who did it and who didn't do it aspect of it. But with the end of it comes down to this. Terence Crawford had said multiple times that he didn't see that fight taking place, and they got into a negotiation, and Terence Crawford turned the bout down and went on ahead and fought somebody else. Nobody was interested in the other fight. Everybody was interested in the big one. So you shouldn't act surprised if people are looking at you like, man, look, I don't want to see this fight. I wanted you to see that fight, especially when you start running around talking about how, fans are broken. Man, just pretty much has been a litany of things that the man has said regarding the Errol Spence Terence Crawford fight that's just pretty much just continued to dig a hole even deeper, right? But no real discussion about the David Avenation fight. Now, I have my theory about why you've not seen any promotions, and this is just my theory. If he asked for the same thing from BLK Prime that he asked for of Errol Spence, or Errol Spence Jr. said that he asked, which was control of all the expenses, the ability to sign off and agree to any money that was spent on the event, well, that may very well prevent you from promoting the event and having any third party, you being able to contract with any third party in any reasonable time frame where, they say, okay, well, I'll do this work for you. Well, let me go check with Terence. Terence says, can you get the price down? No, I can't get the price down. And also I got to go take another job because you guys are taking too long with this, right? So it just seems to me that when you ask for approval of expenses, that may actually prevent people from getting things done quickly. And if your mind is solely on the money associated with it and how much it costs, there may never be any interest in you or in Terence Crawford approving any of the expenses, because every expense, he says, he may believe will come out of how much money he makes after the pay-per-view, all the pay-per-views are sold. And he may not think, oh, well, this isn't going to do that. Let's not spend a ton of money on this. So he may actually choose not to be involved or allow for much promotion, which means the fight's not going to do well. But, at the end of the day, I think Paulie Malignaggi is right. Like, just if you want people to buy David Avenation, try to sell the David Avenation fight. And he definitely should stop talking about Errol Spence, because people are not going to stop talking about that as long as you continue to talk about it, right? But again, it is what most people are interested in as far as Terence Crawford is concerned, because again, it's David Avenation. If you had went on to fight Jaron Ennis, that may have been a different story. If you moved up and you had fought Jermell Charlo, which I know was not possible, that would be a different story. But when you fight somebody that most people never heard of, and of the people that have heard of them, very few people care about them, what do you expect? So Paulie's right. Just move on and talk about your fight, man. Anyway, it is what it is. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.